Dr. Jack van Zyl, a medical advisor at Sanlam, joins us in studio today to discuss how dangerous hobbies may affect your insurance claim. Doctor, thank you very much for coming in this morning. And an event, or rather activity, which has brought this subject to light, of course, is this Pokemon Go craze. A lot of users are tripping, falling, even getting into road accidents. Why is it important to disclose hazardous hobbies, activities to your insurer?
Well, as a general principle, we all get into dangerous or maybe treacherous situations in our normal activities, like driving on a wet road on a winter's day. Those normal or perceived normal activities, everyday activities, is in the risk and in the premium built in that you buy your insurance from. Okay. So that's automatically insured. Whenever you do an extraordinary activity, or if you're unsure, let me give you one example. For example, if you drive a normal rubber duck up in the ocean, people will perceive it as a dangerous activity, but because you don't do it often and it's for leisure time, it is not an extra risk. But whenever you partake in a race, for instance, or whatever other activity, then you cannot automatically just assume that your policy, whenever something happens to you, will pay out. It is the same principle perhaps if you go overseas to a certain country. People normally buy cover for a medical mishap that may happen. This is not in the normal bunch of insurance, maybe with your medical aid or whatever, so you buy extra insurance. The same principle is here. Whenever you've got extra hobbies that you're unsure of, you must make sure what your policy cover and do not cover.
Now, what about a hazardous occupation? For example, I don't know if you work on an oil rig or something like that. I mean, what are the different premiums then that are taken out?
Yeah, when you apply for insurance, they will assess the risk. From the health side, they look at your not chronological age, but your biological age, looking at your risk factors, say cholesterol and so on. The same thing they do with occupations. So if you're a miner or a jockey of horses or whatever the case might be, they will assess the risk beforehand, and then that risk of your occupation is already into the premium, and therefore your policy will cover whatever the risk. Or they may say, because you're a pilot spraying crops, which is a dangerous thing, we don't understand the risk fully, therefore we cannot cover you when you do that specific kind of activity, whatever the case. So the insurers usually, occupational risks are usually included in the premium. You don't have to take out extra insurance.
Now, how do insurers determine whether a hobby is hazardous or not? I mean, I guess if you're someone that recreationally likes to go rock climbing or hang gliding, as opposed to someone who's playing Pokemon Go, it's a bit different.
Absolutely. It's all boils down to statistics. All very dangerous activities usually are regulated to some other degree. For instance, if you do diving, you need a certificate to dive to a certain level or whatever the case might be. And those people generate statistics about deaths, yes, of course, but also injuries that you may get in that specific activity. And then the insurer will then look at that extra risk and decide if it's necessary to put an extra premium on for that specific activity. Okay. Saying that, us South Africans are exposed to road traffic every day, and our roads are not, for example, the same like Europe, where we use public transport, which is of course safer. So our normal risk premium for traffic is already built into the premium.